hello.
What's up? What's up? I see a dollhouse. I love it. The work from home business is amazing.
Where's the doll? Oh, I see the dollhouse. Okay, awesome.
You get brownie points for that.
Yeah, you're rocking that for sure.
Hi, everyone.
Thank y'all for being here, y'all. What's up, Candace?
Hey, it's Candace.
How's it going?
Good, good, good.
Hi, Kayla. Nice to meet you.
Nice to virtually meet you.
Yeah,
Nice
exactly.
to virtually meet all of you, by the way.
We're gonna give it a couple of minutes to let some people roll in. We had like 68 people register, and we'll let's let it fill up a little bit more, and then we're gonna dive right in. Sound good? And you guys, you can talk, do whatever.
Oh yeah, and if you have a question or comment, you have to unmute yourself, FYI. Or you can put questions in the little chat box.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. This is cool. Look at all these happy little faces. I love it.
Happy because it's Friday, Junior.
I know I'm bummed out. Like I tried to write a word here and it's too far away, even though it's like 5 feet. I need to work on that. I need better utensils.
You know what you do? You can write it on a piece of paper and like hold it up.
Oh yeah.
They do that on like little social media posts. They just
Why doesn't that feel like it's like, hey, a ransom?
Ransom.
Yeah. Send me Bitcoin or else.
How's everybody doing today? Anything fun or exciting going on? No.
Some people ready to learn some business. Cool. All right, one more minute, y'all, and we'll dive in. This is gonna be a fun one. I'm excited you guys are here. And you know, I tend to like go down these rabbit holes sometimes, but the good news is we'll get to where we're headed right on time, no matter what I say. So it's perfect.
Indeed.
Go ahead and get this sucker going. Y'all see
I'm
that?
gonna mute myself now. Yes. Muted.
All right, my friends. I really appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to honor your time by giving you some serious information and probably help you a little bit with some mindset things you've got. We're going to talk about one strategy, and it's the one that I built my business on, and it's the one that most successful salespeople in the industry build it on, and it's just about the relationship you have with people. And when you're in the beginning of your career, the relationships that you have they're generally the people that you've been spending most of your life with. So we're going to talk about how you can capitalize on that. One of the things that's really been critical to our success is the strength of our team. All right, and you can see most of our team is here on the Zoom call right now. Like wouldn't be anywhere without them. It's some extraordinary people, and we've been through some fun things together. And some not so fun, but that's okay. And also is almost as important about that is who you surround yourself in your business. Like who are your vendors, who's in your resource list, who do you recommend, and who do you do most of your your deals with. We've had over like basically a 2-decade relationship with Austin Title. So they're part of this. They're part of our team. They're critical to our team. They're great obviously for title insurance, but for title questions and helping clear up liens and having legal questions, just all kinds of things. They've been really critical to our success. And then also it helps us because people know they can rely on us to do some extra research that some people that don't have those relationships may not be able to do. You got to have somebody in your corner for financing. CMG's got a wonderful suite of products. We have a great relationship with them. Trisha Worley, she'll be on here a little bit later to talk about that. As new agents or newer agents, you're going to want to reach out to these people and figure out how you can get into their circle of trust because they will amplify what you're trying to do for your clients. And they're just tremendous allies to have on your team. Home Warranty of America, same thing. There's a lot of options out there. Home Warranty of America has the best service of all of them. Miriam Hansen. She's hopefully on this call right now, or she will be. Towards the end of this, when we do our live Q&A, you're going to have access to talk with them, and they're going to say a few bits about their business. I encourage you to listen, because all this stuff really matters, y'all. You have a lot of options out there when you pick your vendors. I would encourage you to get to know them, make sure that you're aligned with who their representatives are as like people, because the more you click and the more that you guys are willing to do for each other, the stronger you're able, just the stronger you're going to be. And we'll come back to that here towards the end. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So y'all, I was playing around with this PowerPoint and I messed it up and I couldn't undo it. So I'm sorry it looks so weird. I think there's like 2 slides like this and I just ran out of time trying to figure it out. I don't know why. Anyways, it is what it is. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the team. We just talked about our vendors, or the kind of our resources, actually is a better word for that. Stephanie Hansen, can you raise your hand? She's been with me for 7 years. She's our director of ops. She is probably the rock in our sea of NotCom. We rely on her for so much. She's a very wise person. She handles all of our transactions. She operates a lot of our concierge real estate services. She's in intense coaching and training, and personal growth is really important to her. It's actually really important to everybody on our team. And she's just a tremendous asset. So that's her. Kayla, give a little wave. That's Kayla. Y'all probably have all had some kind of communication with Kayla. She's our director of client and agent experience. That's a new title. That's one of probably 15 she's worn in the last 2 years that she's been on the team. She's done ISA work, agent work, transaction coordinating work, marketing work, and now she's responsible for client and agent experience since we're expanding. So she's tremendous. She's like she's our boss of joy, if you will. Just a tremendous asset to us. We're very blessed that she's part of our team. And there's Leslie, Michaela, and Madeline. Leslie's been with us for a couple of years, going on a couple of years. She started as an ISA and quickly moved into buyer agent. Now she's dominating it right now. She's an extraordinary person also. Y'all, this team's amazing. And the reason I'm going through all these things is because you're going to have access to them at the end of this to talk to them. Ask them any question you want. I'm not going to be a referee or anything like that. Just know, and they're going to be as honest as they can with you about like what's going on right now, how they got to where they are, what was their path, all those things. I encourage you to take advantage of it, because these are A+ players. Michaela's on Leslie's team now, helping her with all of her buyers. She just started a couple of weeks ago, actually. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. And she dove right in. She's been awesome. She's learning, drinking from the fire hose, doing a lot of showing assistant and research, and just learning everything with an open mind. I get emails from both of them at like 11 o'clock at night. So I know they're working their rear ends off. And Madeline, little thumbs up or hi. Oh, Michaela, did you say hi? There you go. And Madeline's brand new. She started today. So her experience is she can tell you what day one is like on the Bernie Real Estate Group. So next, in a second, we're going to get into, so that's the team that's here today. First of all, I want to thank all of y'all for being here. Without y'all, like, this is just not fun anymore. So thank you. And I mean that. We're going to talk a little bit about the state of the industry, because there's a lot going on. And we're going to talk local. We're going to talk nationwide, worldwide, if you want. Then we're going to talk about the reason you're here, the strategy, like the #1 strategy that's going to make you successful in this business, how to set it up, how to execute it, what you're going to say, and actually how simple it is, and how quickly it will accelerate launch your business, your pipeline. And then the moment you're all waiting for, the Q&A, where you can just ask questions and talk to whomever you'd like about real estate in general or anything. So why are we doing this for free? It's actually kind of obvious, right? We have 2 things. One of them is that we really care about your journey through real estate. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But we really want, when we get into a transaction with you and you've been through something like this with us, then you know what you can expect from us, and we know what we can probably expect from you. And how agents treat each other in this field is very important. There's a lot of agent on agent crime. It's not fun. The more educated and more understanding you can be about what everybody's going through on both sides, the better the transactions are. The better the transactions are between the agents, the better experience your clients have, and that impacts like your future success. So, and this is part of our giving back into the community. We're hiring. We're always hiring. We're always looking to talk to more talented people. So if you want to have a conversation with us or with Kayla about your business, about what a team looks like, what about our team looks like, any of that stuff, if you go to the bernie-careers.com, you can schedule some time with Kayla, and we'll put mine up there also. And you get into our calendars and we have a conversation for 20 or 30 minutes about anything that you want to talk about. So it's just kind of us giving back to the community. And if it leads to being in business together, then perfect. If it leads to you making other decisions, that's cool too. All right, now your journey. You guys are getting licensed or you're about to get licensed. So congratulations to those of you that passed your test. I hear it's not easy. When I did it 25 years ago, it was pretty easy. But I understand now that the education and the classes and all the accountability and the proctoring and the math and like the whatever, all the other weird legal questions they ask you are here, it's pretty hard. And so I know that you've gone through a lot to get here. I also know that you've gone through a lot mentally to get here, to decide to get into real estate, to make the investment, the dollar investment, it's a few $1,000 when it's all said and done and you're joined up. It's also the emotional investment of convincing yourself that you're going to be amazing in real estate, convincing your partner, wife, client, your friends and your family, everybody. So I know like that journey is like, and I'm going to tell you something. This is like a blood sport. There's a lot that goes into being successful in real estate. And if you stay consistent, you stay focused, sometimes as focused as you can, then you're going to get there. I would encourage you guys, and this will be a theme throughout this, is make sure you surround yourself with amazing people. Find your A+ players and stay around them and only stay around them. Because once you dive into this, your brain's trying to mess with you all different ways. And if you've got other people feeding that, it's going to hurt. But if you got people fanning your flame, like I was going to go into this weird metaphor, but I'm going to stay away from it. But if you've got people that are feeding your mind with positive, like attaboy, attagirl, we believe in you, we're going to help you, we're going to give you referrals, you're going to go a lot further, you're going to go a lot faster, and it's going to feel so much better. So be thinking about that, and you're going to have a chance to think about that when we get into exercise in a few minutes. We focus a lot on the mindset actually on our team. We talk about personal growth. It's not just in business. It's also if faith and spiritual is something important to you, that's part of it. Your mental health, your exercise regimen, workouts, what you're reading, what you're eating. We have people come in and talk to us about these kind of things, your personal finances, how to get out of some holes, how to add wealth, layers of wealth, things like that, how to plan for it, stretch your mind. It's pretty fun because this is a big journey that we have with each other. We spend a lot of time together, and I mean that in a good way. So we want to make sure that journey is enjoyable so that we can stay together. All right, the industry. So back to that real quick. Well, just remember that like you're the average of the top 5 people you hang out with. I'll come back to that in a little while. All right, so the industry. It's crazy, y'all. There are like, we'll talk local, like right now, there are almost like, there's very few houses for sale, at least in the public market, right? There's not that many in the Austin luxury market. There's not that many in the, like the coming soons and all that stuff, because, Austin is in the press constantly, mostly good press, with like Tesla and Oracle and all these companies moving here. And then the ancillary businesses that support them and feed off of them, they're moving here too. We got like rocket ships flying around out near Liberty Hill. I mean, like there's like some crazy commerce going on in Austin. About 6 weeks ago, I was told that Austin is the 8th most invested city in the United States. And it's I think it's the 12th biggest city in the United States. I don't remember. Or the Austin area, I guess is a better way to say that. So that means money is pouring in here, and we're seeing that, right? I mean, a lot of these tech jobs and these tech companies like Redfin and Compass and EXP and Zillow and like all these major brokerages backed by Wall Street are pouring in here, right? There's wholesalers coming in here. There's investors buying up as much as they can, and they're all going in and they're trying to do a lot of it around real estate agents, around like go around, okay? So there's a lot going on that aspect, and and to be honest with you, it's affecting everything, right? Nationwide, just going to speak more to that a little bit. Let me back up for a second. So that's caused is that now when a house hits the market, especially like a new home in Cedar Park or Leander or Round Rock, there's like and Leslie and Michaela know this better than I do, but like literally there's like a line of people waiting to buy a house, right? And they're bidding it up. They made one offer on a $300,000 house that had 90 offers or something crazy like that. 90 offers. Like, I don't even know how you compete. So right now we have this massive inventory shortage, and it's going to take us some time for those buyers to get absorbed, right? But they will, and things will balance out. It always balances out. Right now it's just a massive hustle, and it's made us get innovative on how we go find listings, people that want to sell their property. So we're doing some fun stuff with that, and we like made some pretty quick decisions to get on it. Thankfully my team is awesome, and they're executing it at a high level, because you got to sell houses to stay alive, right? And so anyways, so that's the local stuff, and I won't get too much into that. Also, what's affecting that are like low interest rates, and there's a lot of cash buyers coming from, as you've heard, California and Chicago, New York, and things like that, where they've sold and made a couple $1,000,000 on their house, and they come here and buy a $400,000 house. It's no big deal for them. So they're like, it's like a kid in a candy store for some of them, and they all got great jobs. So it's been interesting. It's not fun like calling your clients 14 weekends in a row saying, sorry, you didn't get that one either. Some investor got it. So, I don't know if some national regulation or, rising interest rates or something is going to be what it's take to slow this down a little bit. So we'll see. I have no idea. I don't think anybody knows. So nationwide, back to some of the names I dropped earlier, EXP and Compass and Redfin and Zillow and Keller Williams and all those guys, Realogy. There's a massive war going on with Google too. Massive war going on for like the commission, some of the fees that are generated from selling like that. And it's really starting to get brutal. It's fun because now Zillow and Redfin are going head to head. Keller Williams and Realogy and Compass are going head to head, EXP too. And it's all these big timers are just fighting it out. And there's this little, like us little real estate agents are down here just serving people as best we can, making our money while they try to figure things out. And who knows what happens. Department of Justice just passed something that said something about buyer agent commission. So there's just like, everything is it's under the microscope, but it's way out of our control, right? So all we can do is consistently do the things that we know how to do every single day, serve at a high level, get compensated for it, make sure everybody's happy, and move on and do it again, right? And that's why a lot of you, I assume, are getting into the business. Tell people buy and sell houses. It's fun. It's fun as long as you don't overthink it. Which is what that kind of thinking right there can do. So what does that mean for you guys? Like, you're real estate agents. I can't see any of you because I'm talking and doing this presentation, but I don't know if wait, I can't see you. How many of you plan to like make real estate your full-time career and you want to help people buy and sell houses? Yeah, I love the interaction, people. Thank you. And how many of you are like in it for investment purposes, or property management, or something like that? Yeah, good. How many of you are? I don't even know what some other reasons would be. How many of y'all are just spying on me? Just kidding. Hey fam. There's a lot going on, and so basically what's happening is all these big guys, they're trying to get the consumer to agree that buying a house should just be a transactional. I don't want to say transaction, that sounds weird, like a transactional experience, right? Just like, here's your down payment, here's your order, here's your offer, wasn't good enough, try again, fill in these blanks, done, right? And for some people that works. The market demanded it. These guys showed up and they're filling in a void for a lot of people who don't care about the emotions. They have no feelings behind it, right? I can tell you from my experience, we did 100 transactions last year, whatever it was. There were like 95% of them were families, right? There are people relocating here. They need all kinds of help. We got to help them with movers and handymen and insurance and like all kinds of financing and like all these things, right? Things that we're set up to do, right? So, and we're talking to them a lot of times, like we did like this morning, we're FaceTiming people through these houses. And there's a difference in a transactional. You just got somebody who's walking through, you're like, yep, there's a kitchen, there's that, looks nice, it's updated, whatever. But when somebody's trying to get a feeling for a house, like they have to trust you enough for you to be able to convey to them what it feels like to be in the house. Like, where's the pitter patter of their kids' feet, right? They drop something upstairs. Am I going to hear it while I'm sleeping? Where am I? If I'm in the kitchen, what can I see? What can't I see? How does it feel? Where's the natural light? A lot of those things that you can't get from pictures or videos, right? So there's a lot of And there's a lot of stuff that goes in emotional, but emotional people, think about it. Like if you've got a piece of art, right? And you go into like a gallery, you see a piece of art, it just strikes you at the moment. And the artist wants like $5,000 for it. You're like, whatever, here's 3 credit cards. I'll figure it out later. I just got to have this thing because I'm being super emotional about it because it put me in a state of mind that I just can't shake, or something like that. Somebody's made an emotional purchase. Maybe it was a car there, but, and so you paid for it, right? And then you got this thing and now you're explaining it to people walk in. It's like, man, my 3-year-old could have painted that. But so houses, what they're trying to get people to understand is like, or to think is that like, you don't need an emotional guide through these things. You don't need somebody who's going to offer you concierge real estate services, who's there to protect you from the property tax man, who's there to like argue with the appraisal, who's there to make sense of what the inspection says, right? Someone who's done it over and over and over, who's got your back on all these things you need to be scared about or not scared about, and what you can do about it, right? Having solutions behind all that. People will still pay for that. You're getting into this relationship business, right? Where you get to display like how trustworthy and how amazing you are as a human being. And right now, I would say more time than ever, like the world really needs that. And so you get to go out and you get to do that and you get to get compensated for that highly. So that's where your opportunities are, y'all. You're gonna, if your plan is to be transactional about it, you're gonna have a hard time. If your plan is to be relationship based about this, solution based, and to come at this with, and which is what this strategy is all about, then your success is gonna be right, and it's gonna feel right, and it's gonna last for a very long time. So I encourage you to be relationship based. All right. So, we're gonna interact now. So apparently when I write stuff down here, you can't see it. So I'm gonna zoom you in on another camera, but if you don't mind, I would like for you to unmute yourselves and throw out some words that are some characteristics of what makes a great character, like a great relationship. Think about the one you have with like your partner, your best friend, whatever, right?
Loyalty.
It's like, oh wait, good. Say it again.
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Communication.
Effective communication.
Respect.
Trust.
Yeah.
Kindness.
Yeah.
Trust.
Understanding.
All right, what are some other characteristics of great relationships, like extraordinary relationships, your best relationships?
Compromise.
Ooh, I don't like that word. It's a great word. Thanks for saying it. What else? I'm sorry that it's at an angle. I promise you to see it in a minute. Understanding, compromise, trust, kindness, respect, communication, loyalty, love, right?
Commonality.
Unconditional. What?
Commonality.
Commonality. Okay, good.
Mutually beneficial.
Yeah, so like reciprocity.
Symbiotic.
Some smart people here.
Big vocabulary words coming in.
Ah, man, that's too many syllables, guys. What else? Give me 2 more.
Genuine.
Yeah, authentic. Genuine, authentic. Now, like, I don't even know how I write like that. So yes, the answer to all of this is yes. And so you have relationships like this with people, right? Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be able to give me some of these words, right? Hold on, let me shrink my screen. So think about, now we're getting into the exercise. I meant to tell you that when the screen changes back to this, go back. So we're in the exercise, and since you're playing already, I appreciate it. But get out a piece of paper and a pen, because now we're going to talk about what this strategy is of who you're going to talk to, how you're going to talk to them, how you're going to rate them. Okay. So you know how often to talk to them, and you know what to say to them. This is important. This is your sphere of influence, right? This is like the core of your business. How I started my business 25 years ago. I was 21 years old. So like my database had like 10 people in it. And like, we were all drinking buddies from college. Like we couldn't even buy houses, but we're going to go through a little bit of an exercise so you can start, like, I get excited about this, but so you can start to like classify your friends and your family, your connectors, your influencers, your mentors, your acquaintances. And so you know how to communicate with them about what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you why this is important, because you're getting into like, if they're actually friends or they're acquaintances of yours and they like you, I have to bend down, sorry. And they like you, they want you to be successful. Okay. Do you guys hear that? Like, people want you to be successful. So you're going to call them and you're going to tell them like what you've gotten into and how you're going to serve them. They're going to be like, sweet. I've been waiting for somebody that I know to get into real estate because I need somebody I can trust and I like you. So I'm going to help you out. I promise you that's going to happen. So this is where your opportunity is. It's in the people that you already know. That's how simple it is. All right. So great characteristics. We just went through that. All right. Now we're going to think about some names. And you're going to do this. Just come up with 5 people that you would consider A+ clients. And I'm going to give you a tip. It can be family is okay. So who do you have extraordinary relationships with? This is important. You're going to build a little plan of attack, and it's January. So this is perfect. So you're going to know exactly how you're going to tackle the rest of your year and how you're going to make money. Almost 100% of your business is going to come from this in the first couple of years. As you start to lead generate and do more and connect more, it's going to move more towards 60%. But in the beginning, the majority of your business will come for this. What's great about it is that there are people that like you, you like them, and it's basically free. Who likes free? Yeah, free's awesome. All you got to do is do a good job, right? I'll do that all day long. My dog does that. He gets a treat every single time. All right, so take a few minutes, write that down. And it doesn't have to be long. Just think like the first 5 people you thought of. I'm watching y'all, by the way, who's writing and who's not. I'm just kidding.
I'm doing it too, by the way. Just for kicks
Yeah,
and
and our team, like we have a top 5. So whenever, like if you get stopped in the hall or at a desk or wherever you might be, and somebody asks you for your top 5, you got to say who your top 5 next clients are. So you've always got to be thinking about who you're supposed to be serving at a high level. This exercise will help you. All right, so you probably wrote down some names. It could be mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, boss, coworker, neighbor, best friend from college. It doesn't matter. They don't need to live in Austin. I forgot to mention that. They can live anywhere. Everybody knows somebody living to Austin. You're not going to call them and ask them, hey, when are you selling your house? You're going to call them and ask them, hey, who do you know that wants to buy or sell real estate? I'll give you the script in a little bit. I've got it written down so you can screenshot it or we'll send it to you. Okay. Next. I'll leave this thing. Okay. So this is who do you have an extraordinary relationships with that are not named mom, BFF, or mentor? So these would be other people like, and another way to do this, if you just wrote everybody down that you consider an A+, is maybe figure out of the names that you just wrote down, those people that like your A+ are like my buddies lives in Minnesota. Like we can talk, we have our own language. I grew up with them. If we hang up and I don't talk to him for 3 months, I pick up and call, we'll finish the sentence that we started 3 months earlier, right? Everybody's got friends like that. You talk to them all the time. You communicate like you feel each other constantly, right? So those are your A+, right? Other people that are A+ are connectors and influencers. You may not have them now, but in a second, you're going to think of 1 or 2 that you want to be A+. You're going to treat them like A+. Because influencers and connectors will change your life. I have like 10. And over 1,000 transactions, 10 have probably given me, I think, like 56% of my deals. Maybe not that much anymore, but that's what it was a couple of years ago. All right. Those are your influencers and connectors. You're going to stick to those guys like glued. You're going to do whatever they ask you to do, mostly. All right. But the rest of those that aren't your A+, those are your A's. I'll give you a minute. I'm talking too fast. I need to cool off. All right. You got a good list? You comfortable? You happy with your A's and your A+? All right. So here's where we're talking about, excuse me, the influencers and connectors. Those could be like, I I don't know. Like for us, it's always been somebody who's got, they're higher up in management, own a company, they're involved in the community, like church, like pastor, like people that are, that a lot of people respect them and their influence that they have in their like personal sphere and community that you can go to and ask them, well, that if you earn their trust, or when you earn their trust, they're going to connect you to all their people. You all know people that are like that are just like plugged into community, and everybody likes them and everybody wants them, like takes their word like it's the gospel. So think about that, and if you can think of one or two and figure out how to like cozy up to them or earn their trust or just to like be connected to them, the more the merrier, the faster this goes for you. All right. Anybody write? Anybody have an aha on that, or anybody get a good name? I'll just assume that's a yes from you. All right. So next we're going to go into the B clients. Here's what's also important about these people. You got to know how to be able to like contact them. So you got to have their phone number or an email address or a direct message or their address, right? You got to be able to get a hold of them some way. So, and that's for all of these that we're going to go through. Now the B's are more fun because the B's, I think that's like your test case. Like you're getting in there and you're rooting around and you're trying to get them to like understand that you're in real estate. You've got their best intentions at heart. They'll sometimes think about you. The whole point of this is that you really want to stay top of mind for anybody who's thinking about real estate all the time. Okay. Or just anytime they think about real estate, they think about you. All right. So B's are people like in your social sphere, on social media. These are people that are, they're in their phone. You could call them if you wanted to, but you don't really have like a great connection with them. But it's up to you to really develop that if you so choose. Right. There's also going to be people that you should probably, we'll get to that in a second, actually. But the B clients are great. So your A list is going to be a little bit smaller. Your B list is going to be bigger. Your C's, I don't know what your C is going to be. It varies depending on who the person is. My database, my personal database only has 536 names in it. Okay. And A pluses, there's probably like 12, right? There's a bunch of A's and a bunch of B's. And I just talk to them all the time. Some people I have really great relationships with. Some people don't want to have a great relationship, right? They just want to know, like, Clay's the real estate guy. I'll call you when I need you, right? And those people, when they tell you that, I'm your real estate guy, I'll call you when I need you, you still get called like once a quarter, right? Because I don't want somebody else slipping in on my territory, right? So, and we'll talk about that in a second. So these are your B clients. Line them up. And what you can do is you can develop a strategy, and we can talk a little bit about that, as if it's all social, which is this new thing. It's not really new anymore, but where a lot of people interact now. That's where you're going to have to go at them from there, or you can come up with a campaign to get their phone number and their email address, so you can actually start having a little bit more meaningful relationship with them. Here's another tip. I'm going to get to this now. C's are the problem childs, because you have their information, you kind of like them, you kind of know them, and you need to make a decision on if you want them in your life. And it's your goal through this whole database to either move, like this whole exercise, if they're A's, move them up to A+. If they're B's, move them up to A. If they're C's, move them up to B, or delete them. All right. And I'm guessing if you haven't gone through this before, you're going to have a lot of that movement going on until things start to settle down, and then it starts to gel, and then you can start future pacing the kind of relationship you want to have with somebody when you meet them. All right. And that'll come a little bit later. But for now, you want to figure out who your people are. The whole point of this exercise is to figure out who are your people. Who can you call once a week, once a month, once every 2 months, once every 3 months? Ask them for business. Not every time. You're going to ask them for business every once in a while. We'll get to it in a second. Right. And then the rest of the time, you can have a normal relationship with them. You've got to remember that these are the people that like to see people be successful. If they're negative people, you don't agree with some of their posts or all their posts or any of their posts or whatever's going on with all that right now, they're just like, they don't ever bring joy to your life. Get rid of them. You cannot, when you get into this where you're just selling and you're commission only, you cannot afford to rent your headspace to anybody who's negative, who's going to poison it. Does that make sense? It's easier said than done. Hey, you're not good for me anymore. Delete. They're not going to miss you anyways. That's I'm being a little bit hard on you for that, guys, but it's super important because your mind, you're like your headspace, the box. We call it the box. You got to protect the box, and that means going through this exercise, finding out who's good in your life, who treats you well, right? Who do you want to treat well? All right. Oh, there it is. Any questions on that? Did anybody just go in and wipe out their Facebook account? All right, so here's the deal. Here's how you put people on a system. And I did this in an Excel spreadsheet. In fact, mine is in an Excel spreadsheet. I've been in and out of these CRMs for years, and I just like struggle with them because then it's like one more extra thing to remember to do. So we have everybody's in a spreadsheet, and I just like sort them by who they are, mark them when they're called, and then just repeat, rinse and repeat, right? So since it's January, you get to build out your list of people, and everybody that's an A+, call them this week. Say, listen, I'll get to what you're gonna say in a minute, but you're gonna call them this week. And then the E is for email, and the T is for text or thank you note. Do you guys, anybody write thank you notes regularly? Anybody not on my team write thank you notes regularly? Because we do. I could tell you story upon story or example upon example of how much those little thank you notes, little 3-sentence thank you notes that we write on these things and send out. This is an old one, but you can see there's not that much room on there. You don't have to overthink saying thank you to somebody, showing them some gratitude. But when I walk into somebody's living room and I see them all magneted, is that a word, on the refrigerator, they're like, I know I don't even have to, like, I put the presentation down, we have a normal conversation, paperwork comes out. But like, guys, there's some people I haven't seen in years. I walk in and they have the thank you note sitting out on the countertop, right? I wrote a thank you note to a guy in East Austin. He owned 2 lots with like 7 homes on it. He called me, said, I get letters all the time. He wrote me a handwritten note. Sell it. $2 million bucks. The power of a thank you note, you've heard this, it's extraordinary. And if you'll take the time to sit down and write somebody and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Thank you for thinking of me for your referrals. They may not have sent you a referral. They may not have known your real estate yet, but you just put in your mind that they're going to be giving you referrals, right? It's been an honor to serve you. I'm honored by your trust. Little powerful words like that will take you miles and miles into this. Thank you notes. We buy them for our agents. I'm just like, you need to write these. You need to write 15 a week, right? At least. Powerful. So, the text message is great. It's kind of weird though, because like I probably get 100 text messages a day, and sometimes I just forget. So it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. Phone calls are cool. Phone calls are great actually, because you actually have a real conversation with somebody about some things, and you actually have to talk. And the whole goal of this, y'all, is to build and fortify this database. Like these people, your people, if they're good people, and if they made it to your A+, A's and B's, then they're good people. They want to see you succeed. So you're going to have a conversation with them. It looks a little bit like, we talked about that. Hey, this is Clay. As you know, I've been studying real estate and I passed my exam. Hell yeah, passed my exam. That was hard. I'm not always going to call you about business. Maybe every month or two, I'll ask you for referrals. Someone that wants to buy a house, sell a house, or invest in real estate. Is that okay? Thank you. Does anybody come to mind? Thank you. Say thank you. It's so simple. And you're putting that intention there of like, hey, I'm going to call you every once in a while and ask you for business. That doesn't mean every time I call you, I'm going to ask you for business. But you've just replaced whoever they were thinking about for real estate. You just replaced that person in their brain. And you're going to do this every couple of months or every month or every few weeks, depending on where they are in your cycle, to stay top of mind. And so when they feel like, they're like, hey, we're thinking about moving to Wyoming. Sweet, I'll be right over. Right? Free. It's just free. And it's like, feels right. It's amazing. Buy referrals, y'all. Not buy referrals, like buy referral only. Operate like that. Forgot those words were the same. So is that powerful? I mean, was that helpful information? Is there anything I need to go back and go over? Because it's so simple. The trick of this is just to be consistent and to do it every single day. If you're just starting out, you're just going to have a couple of people call today, right? It'll take you 30 minutes. Then you sit down, you send them a little thank you note. business card, put it in, send it off, done. You've just done more in one day than most people do in like a month, right? And if you're just consistent about it, and then you go out and you start talking to people, you're gonna start building up your confidence, right? And so when you start building up your confidence, because you're having conversations with people that you like, people that will forgive silly little mistakes when you're trying to ask them a question about, hey, I want to buy a house. You like, I want to buy a house. You're like, oh wait, sorry. Do you know anybody who wants to buy a house, sell a house, or invest in real estate, right? They're gonna forgive you for it. And they're gonna chuckle and you're gonna laugh about it. And you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm serious. And I say, okay, I believe you, man. I like you a lot. I want you to succeed. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna call you back with a referral. They will do it. They do it all the time for me. I promise you. And they did it in the very beginning when I was 21, right? Or 21, 22. I don't remember. They're I can't asking for the referral, even in business, like Pam and her sister, Trisha, Miriam, you don't know this, but I'm coming for you. They're like we get referrals from them because we ask them, right? And we show them, hey, we bust our butts. We know what we're doing. We're pretty good people. Like we work hard, right? We don't always get all the referrals, but we get them, right? So there's and if you show people how sincere you are and how much you want to take care of them, right? And you get into that relationship based where you're like solution based, where you value the relationship that you have with them, which is like at an all-time low right now, everywhere across all industries. Like you become like irreplaceable. You're almost the most valuable thing in some people's lives when you show them that you respect them enough that you want to be in a relationship with them, especially right now. I could get going on this if you guys aren't careful. So the point of that is like, just have the confidence, or just know, like when you call your A pluses, your mom, your cousin, whatever, your neighbor, and say, hey man, I'm in real estate and I have to check this off my list. I still say that to people, right? I like call Mark, hey dude, I got to ask you because it's on my list. Who do you know that can help buy or sell real estate? He's like, Clay, you sold everything. Like we're out of there, right? I know, but I have to make this call. They know it, they get it. They love you for it. They're proud of you, right? They want to support you. They want to give you referrals. They roll in. They start to roll in. And it's a phenomenal way to live because you're doing it from good, man. You're just like being contribution based. You've got solutions. You're like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I promise you. And I get right back to you. This is when I'm going to do it. You show up at a high level all the time. You look the part, you dress the part. I think I'm cutting ahead here, but so you want to consistently do it. Let me go back to this. You want to consistently be doing this, executing this strategy. This is the number one strategy to success for free that you will have in real estate or selling cosmetics or anything like that, right? Who are your people? Love on your people and stay in touch, stay top of mind. Does it feel like I'm yelling at you? I'm not trying to yell at you. I just get really passionate about this stuff. You guys, if we'll email this out, we have all your email addresses, so we'll make sure that you get this. We also have there's an exercise that we'll include that you can go through. It talks about it's like a memory jogger program. So who's my dentist? I need to write that down. Who's my CPA? Write that down. Who does my yard? I get referrals from our yard guys, right? So you just remember, treat everybody with respect. Not that you weren't anyways, but who does your yard? And so you can start because more people and you interact with more people than you think you do. And this little exercise is great at helping you jog your memory on all those people. So we'll include that in that packet for you. It's super helpful. In fact, all of our new agents go through it. Just so you know, Madeline and Michaela. One of the things, so right now, this is really important. You don't, every time you talk to somebody, it's not always great just to always be hey, it's about real estate, it's about real estate, it's about real estate, right? You want to mix it up with hey, how y'all doing, right? And you're going to start, when you do this, you execute this and you get into this, and 5 years later, you've got a database of 300 people, and you have better relationships with some of the Bs. You just send them a text, say, hey, just thinking about you. Do you need anything? Especially right now in March and April, we were just calling people, asking them hey, what can we do for you? How are you? Right? We were just reaching out to them, just giving a little care nudge, that kind of thing. That works too. Because on your signature, it's got your name and the real estate company you're with and all that stuff. But it's not about that, right? It's a relationship. In the beginning, nearly 100% of your business will come from people you know. Here's In fact, almost everybody I know already had, well, that's not a true statement. Most people know when they get out of the business, they got one or two buddies that are ready to buy a house, right? And then after that, you sell some, and then you're just like, oh man, what do I do next? That was easy. Now this is hard. I don't know where to go next. This is the fail safe. It's not even the fail safe. This is what you should be doing all the time. And then as your business grows and you're paying attention to like open houses and you get sign calls from listing your friend's house and converting those buyers and sellers into clients, then like the needle of your referral business and your repeat business and your sphere-based business starts to go down because your business is growing from all your success, right? It starts to compound itself. It's awesome. And it turns into this hockey stick growth. Hockey stick, by the way, is like up and then shoots through the roof. Okay, compound interest. Okay, these are just some of my favorite little tidbits for you. The, what's his name? Warren Buffett says that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Y'all know who Warren Buffett is? He's like top 5 richest guy ever. Maybe top 10 richest guy ever. He, and so compound interest in our business is doing the activities every single day. If you call 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 people a day and ask for business, AFB, ask for business, the compound interest effect on your activities will skyrocket. And it's like 7 years in is when you're going to notice a massive change. It's great years 1 through 7, 0 through 7. Usually about years 6 and 7 is when things really start to explode for you. And guys, you got to remember, this is unlimited income potential. That means millions of dollars. If you just focus on your relationships with your people and how to improve them, make them better, stronger. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds sweet, right? It's better than trying to come up with the next Amazon. So the 2 ears, 1 mouth is something that I have to practice a lot. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Listen more than you talk. Just a fun little clue or tip for you. And then something else that's pretty important is, and there's one other thing. Let me go back to it while I'm remembering it. You don't want to go more than 3 months without going back to a business question for somebody or asking for business. So like your A pluses, you talk to them all the time. Your A's though, when you start to get into that a little bit, you don't want to go more than 3 months without asking for business, because they'll meet somebody who's singing real estate and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, let's go do it. But if every 3 months you stay in their rotation in their brain or stay at first place in their brain, that won't happen. I got to tell you, it's happened a few times. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good at all. All right. Dress to be the part. Not like me right now, but it's kind of funny. Like, I mean, you're interacting with people in some of their biggest financial transactions they're ever going to make, right? And you're talking to them about their emotions and about this amazing relationship you have with them, or you will have with them, all these promises you're going to make, and you stink. You forgot to comb your hair. You forgot to brush your teeth. It's a really hard message to convey. And we have to have this conversation. We don't have to have it on our team, but we have to have this conversation with some people because it's a problem. You need to be respectful of what it is that you're trying to do. Be respectful of yourself, be respectful of other people's time and what they're looking to accomplish. Making major financial stressful decisions. They don't want you to smell like a gutter, right? And then thankfully in Austin, we don't have to wear 3-piece suits every day, right? It's not that hard to get dressed up to go out in Austin. I don't think it is. All right, those are just little tidbits for you. Yo, we made it, y'all. And we did it on time. That's legit. I want to give Miriam, if you're on here, and Pam and Trisha, if you're here, if you want to just say hello, introduce yourselves a little bit. And like, if there's when we send this out to everybody, we'll make sure your contact information is in here so that these new agents, these new licensees, they can reach out to you and start to develop a relationship with you. And with each other. I encourage you to do it, guys, because you're going to need people on your team. These guys do a lot of work for real estate agents. They do a lot of education. You're going to get a lot of questions thrown at you. Knowing where to get the answers is like 90% of the battle. So who wants to go first? Anybody?
I'll go first.
Hi, Miriam.
Sorry, I have had barking dogs going a little bit crazy.
Okay.
Trying to join you and like get all excited with you here.
I know.
So,
Yep.
Hey everyone, I'm Miriam with HWA Home Warranty, and I'm very excited to be here and be listening in. I get really excited about some of what Clay's been sharing as well, and I'm like making my own notes because it applies to a lot of what I do, and reaching out and just, it's really great reinforcement, I think. But I like that you get excited about it, Clay. That's really awesome. So, but I'm on the warranty side, and I have sent over some materials that they can share, but I'll be bringing some of these by. They're fun brochures, great reading material if you're ever bored. But we're at 13 months of coverage, and it's, it's included. A lot of y'all, when you go through your fresh courses that you just passed, you talk about when the sellers offer to cover the warranty, and that's great because it decreases the liability that the sellers have when the buyers come in. And these are conversations I get excited about because you never know when something's going to happen. That inspection can be clean as a whistle, and 3 days after that buyer moves in, Murphy's Law happens and something goes on. And that's why you and I build a relationship, and you give them my phone number and we get it taken care of right away. So that's kind of where I'm at. And there's so many things I can really go into. And Clay, I can't even see what time it is on my computer. So I don't want to take.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's perfect. Yeah.
But, getting to know really like what's covered, and we have some of the most comprehensive plans for HVAC. And for me, it's really staying top of mind. And, again, knowing, I love when my homeowners know who I am, because you're selling homes. I take care of the warranty. I don't want my agents being distracted with what's going on. I'll keep you in the loop, but I really think it's important for y'all to focus on the real estate, and for the homeowners to know who and when to contact locally if they need to, so that I can step in and make sure that everything is taken care of the way it should be. So that's really been my focus since I've been with HWA. I was with Keller Williams once before, so I do understand a lot of where you're at and starting and growing your business. And I would like for your buyers to move into their home and everything go well, and what I do not have to be something you worry about. I tend to be the last person that comes to the table after the close, and one of the few people, other than you keeping your relationship open with your buyers, I'm one of the few ongoing relationships after you close that lasts. So I want that to be a positive experience for your buyers.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. Pam? Hi.
Hey, hey everybody. My name's Pam Carroll. I'm with Austin Title. I work with my sister Jenny Newman. We partnered together. She was not able to make it this evening, so I'm flying solo, but we are grateful to be a part of anything that Clay's doing. We've known Clay for, how long has it been, Clay? 19, 20 years. We all started when we were 10. We're babies. Anyways, but been Austin Title the entire time, which is Fidelity National Financial is our underwriter, which is good for you guys because we're the insurer of everything. And as an insurance company, we're the largest in reserves than any other title company. So for you guys, when you're out there and you're telling your seller that you suggest you want to close with Austin Title, you'll know that you'll have a good company backing you. And when it comes to marketing, me and Jenny have been, like I said, doing it for a minute. And so our goal is to partner with you and kind of do what Clay was talking about just on the title end. So we want to sit down with you and help you and meet with you, and you tell us ultimately what your needs are. So we've got a website, austentitle.com. We have over 200 marketing pieces on there. We have an app, Austin Title Agent. You can download it for free. It's buyer seller net sheet. It's a great app for you guys to download. I would suggest to do that. But feel free to call me or my sister or anyone else at Austin Title. We'd love to help you guys and to work with y'all. And yeah, thanks for letting me be a part of it, Clay. It's good to see your face.
Good to see you too. I know it's been a while.
I know it has been too long.
Thank you for sharing all these. I'm telling you, the home warranty, because you will call them after the fact, and the title company, they help you like with pre-listing research. Like having people like this in your corner are invaluable. Stephanie will vouch for that because she's the one that has to make all the phone calls. but you just like, you need to get to know them. Trisha, did you make it on? She didn't make it on. That's all right. She's traveling with her family right now. It was gonna be a crapshoot. She's with CMG Financial. I encourage you to check them out because they have a great suite of products for lenders, for buyers, probably the best in the industry that we know of. They're just a tremendous asset to have to pass along to buyers. Guys, all right, Q&A time. You can talk to Director of Operations, you can talk to Title, you can talk to Home Warranty, you can talk to Director of Client and Agent Experience, you can talk to Senior Buyer Agent, you can talk to Showing Assistant, you can talk to person who's got first day in the job, or you can talk to me if you're probably tired of my voice. So like, light it up. Not all
I
at
got a
once.
question for Clay.
I'm here.
Were you with Keller Williams the whole time, and how do you feel like Bold and Ignite have influenced you or helped you along the way?
Joe, thanks. Great question. No, I started, I've been to like a couple of the boutique shops. I've been to, in fact, I didn't really care for Keller Williams in the beginning when I was in some other places, but you know, like I was talking earlier, like there's a major fight going on in the real estate world, like way above and beyond what I'll ever comprehend. And Gary Keller is fighting the fight for real estate agents. So, and the second thing about that is that the Keller Williams culture, I'm not making this about Keller Williams, but you asked. Okay, the Keller Williams culture is about like having access to people that are significantly further along in their business building than you are, or that are like hyper focused on a specific thing that you want to get really excellent at. You can go talk to them. Like, it's just easy. You just go talk to them. When that happened, it really opened up my world. And if you haven't read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, I encourage you to, because the models, the framework in there for running a real estate business is still true to this day. Bold is amazing. I have not taken the latest version of it, but I've probably been in it 5 times. What it teaches you is the things that I just kind of glossed over today is your mindset and consistency. So your job as a real estate agent is to lead generate, lead follow up, set appointments, negotiate deals, practice. Practice is the one that always gets away from people. Lead generate's the one that people are most scared of for some reason. So if you just lead generate your sphere, you've eliminated the fear around that, right? Because they're all people you know and love. Lead follow up. If you don't lead follow up, you're not going to eat, right? Setting appointments, closing deals, you're going to learn those things as you go along, right? Sometimes it just naturally happens because you're doing all the hard work up front. And then practicing. Bold teaches you to practice. It teaches you the scripts to say, how to say them, like the presentations to make, like that stuff. It's like, and you have to take it more than once. It's like, you know, I'm a Tony Robbins guy. So like, I listen to the guy all the time. I was going to as many of his things as I could, because like, he teaches you how to get your mind right. You know, the battle, like these tools and strategies that I'm teaching you, like anybody can share this stuff with you. It's not like it's a secret. The secret is like, where's your heart and where's your mind? And so Bold helps you with some of that stuff. And consistency. Consistency is probably the biggest thing.
What do you think is well, I think the most important question I had is following up with people, asking them once a month why, asking them for business.
Yeah.
People say it works, but do you know why it works? Do you know why it works? And
because the people that you're talking to want you to be successful. And so it's like your reticulating activator, whatever it is. You want to buy a red car, you just bought a red car. Next thing you know, you see a bajillion red cars all over the place. If you're asking somebody for referrals in real estate consistently 6 times a year or whatever it is, next time they're like, oh yeah, Joe, call Joe. He's a great realtor. Never done a deal with him, but he calls me all the time. He must be successful. He must be, know what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. It works. It doesn't matter. Nobody wants to have a Rolodex of realtors in their freaking brain, right? They just want a person. You don't want a bunch of CPAs in your brain. You just want a CPA, right? You don't want 900 dentists. You just want one, right? And who's going to be the dentist that you go to? Well, it's the one that's close by. It's the one that's doing some advertising. It's the one that you see or you hear from all the time. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I'm not going to say it's business 101. It's more than that, but it's like, if you consistently touch these people, you may not get a referral the first time, but you're going to get one. And then they're going to start pouring in because you're going to stumble across a connector. Somebody didn't even know they were a connector, right? They're just like a respected person in their business, wherever they work. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I just had this great experience with Joe. Oh man, I want to talk to Joe. I want to have a great experience too. Why was it a great experience? And they're going to talk about it. It happens.
And last question, and then I'll give everybody else time. Last question I have is, what do you think scares people about lead gen?
Oh, it's fear of rejection. But like that, the scary part, like, don't think about the scary part. Think about the successful part. I want to talk to 20 people today. 2 of them are going to say maybe. 10 maybes turns into a yes. Boom, got an appointment. It's just numbers. You just pick up the phone, start calling people. Look, not every day is rainbows and sunshine for me too, right? On the lead gen stuff, like the team's got to crack down on me sometimes. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you're busy, or it's like more fun to think about getting your nails done or something like that, or whatever, playing golf. But you got to do you have to do it, and you consistently do it like 100% of the time. It's great. Just don't think about lead gen as being scary. Just think about it as you're building relationships, you're fortifying relationships, right? You're stacking wealth for your family, right? You're giving your kids a chance to have nice clothes and go to college, to eat better food than ramen. I mean, like, think of all the great things it's going to do for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buy a new pair of shoes, go buy some Louboutins, right? I mean, that's like like, just disassociate fear and like rejection with it, and associate all the positive things are with it. That's all you got to do. But you got to do it every day, twice on Sunday, and a lot of times at 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What else we got? Come on, talk to us.
A couple questions. I guess these would be for the buyer's agents or Madeline. What was one of your biggest challenges starting out? And if you didn't start on a team and now you're on the team, what is the benefit of being on a team versus not?
Hi everybody. So I pretty much knew, like, right off the bat that I did want to join a team, just because of, all of this support. And I literally, like, today was my first day. And it was great, obviously. But yeah, joining a team, it was just kind of obvious to me, just to have that support and to know that there's always going to be somebody there. So if I do make a mistake, or if I do have a question, I don't have to always like YouTube it. I can just like ask people who know what they're doing.
Right. Thank you.
Madeline has no idea what she's gotten herself into with our team. I think she may have just had a glimpse right here. But I love the dialogue on this, because like we're about to build out her goals. We're helping her sort down what needs to happen in a month, in a week, in a day, and how easy it is to track that and build that and like hold yourself accountable. The team, everybody that's on a team is going to help her build it out. Scripts, like what do we talk about today on like the downtone and the pauses, like just those little tweaks in the conversations that you have on a single day. Like we have our big like adjustments, and then something I call like the millimeter changes. Just when you're sitting and you're like, hey, try this or do this, it make things a little bit easier in that conversation. So like Madeline's world is getting turned upside down. She just hadn't felt it yet.
For the better though.
Yeah, totally.
So I was not, hey Candace, I wanted to come in and meet you today, and I should have. But so I was not part of a team. This is like my favorite question ever, because I am super pro team. Clay says it's for some people and it's not for everyone. I totally disagree. I think it is 100% the way to go. So I went with a boutique brokerage twice, tried to do it on my own. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. You can absolutely work yourself into the ground and not be successful. And there's a huge shift. A lot of it is, the mind stuff and protecting your mind and knowing, what you need to be doing every day and how to do that every day, and that compound interest, what that builds up to, and seeing that vision and not giving up before all of that pays off. Right. So just to answer your question, it was a huge life-changing thing for me. It was a life-changing thing.
Thank you. And how long have you been a real estate agent for?
This is year 5.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you
She's
feel like
been with us.
you stay on track, being surrounded by a team and being supported and
Yeah, 100%. And I came on as ISA. And so that really, I feel like, set me up for success in a huge way. Just teaching me every day, just like Clay said a few minutes ago, there's no secret here. You guys have probably all watched a million YouTubes, and like everybody keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. And you just keep watching them and like thinking that at some point the absorption of information is like going to make it happen. But the reality is that actually sitting down and putting your sphere list together and doing the work and making that happen, that's where the money is. That's where building that list and actually calling them, no matter how uncomfortable you are, after like your 5th phone call, you're not uncomfortable anymore. Then you're just talking to friends, you're just talking to people, and you're trying to help them. And it becomes a very genuine conversation that you're having with all these people. So going from that ISA role and making those phone calls all the time, all day long, set a foundation for me that I love. I love talking to people now. I love having genuine conversations with people. It means a lot to me. And so taking that and transitioning that into seeing somebody through the entire process just added benefit to my life, right? It was a benefit. And so, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question or
yeah,
not.
you definitely did. Thank you so much, Leslie. I appreciate it.
Anybody else, guys?
Yeah, I have a question real quick.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll just throw it out there. Whoever wants to answer it. I think for a lot of people I'm coming across, and including myself, it's a transition from one career into the next. And I guess my question would be is, can you still be successful starting off as doing this part-time with still trying to manage a career, or is it one of those things you jump ship and do it full-time?
I'll answer it. You do real estate full time. You do your other job, however many hours you need to do it, but you do real estate full time, period. So if you have an 8-hour a day job, you need to work another 8 to 10 hours a day doing real estate.
Okay, so it's not just the fact that you're doing the 8 hours, which I get. It's just that it's the blend between the two. So if you're working from say 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, then the rest of it's going to be real estate.
Depends on what you want.
And it's possible, I guess, is the biggest thing. And do you take part-time agents on your team to start off?
Well, Madeline, yeah, we do. We can. The thing of it is like, you've got to be, it depends on what you want, right? If you want different things than what we want, then it's not going to be a good blend. But if you want what we want and we want what you want, then I don't care about that, right? I want to be in business, and I want to be around with successful people, right? And so and so do they. So so that's the only thing that matters. And if it's part-time, I will get you out of your job soon. Like, you give me 6 or 8 months, you're going to be done. So because, right, Leslie? I mean, like there's so much to do out there. And man, I'm telling you, like in the part-time, like I've just had these mixed emotions about it, but I've decided, and it occurred to me recently, actually, because of the conversations I was having with some people, is that like, if we're all in alignment, I'm not worried about that. I get it, like the need for security. I will show you how you will be successful, and you will see it and you will feel it, and you're good. But you got to be willing to like commit the time that you can give me. You got to give it to me, right? Or give it to us, because we're all in, right?
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
There's a long-winded answer for you. I bet that shocks you.
That's good.
There's another thing. My buddy Tony Robbins says this: when you're going to go into something that's just commission only and you want to be super successful in it, when you get to the island, you got to burn the boats, right? You're going to figure out if you're about to run out of money, right? And you're doing something and it's commission only, you will figure out how to make money. But if you're always thinking about, I got that job, you're not going to figure it out. And if you're not going to figure it out, there's 13,999 other agents that are trying to figure it out. So it just depends on what you want.
Right. I've been in commission sales for 15 years. So
Yeah.
that's the other job.
Yeah.
So commission.
But yeah. And I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that, right? Because I can't tell you what you want. I can't tell any of you what you want. But the harder you make it for yourself to go back, and the harder it is for you to you take away all your security blankets, you're gonna find a way to be successful. Sleeping on the street's not comfortable, right?
Right. Well, you had mentioned about the local market and everything about how tough it is out there at the moment. I mean, so for someone who's used to making six figures, I mean, how long do you think it would take?
Okay. What happened, team? What did we do today? What did we decide, because we're commission only, that we're going to do that was made us get innovative and jump into massive action? So that's it depends on how your brain works, right? So if you're part-time and it's scary, it's always going to be scary, because what's right after homes selling to 90 people, it's 90 homes not selling to one person, right? So it's always going to be scary stuff out there. You can't allow that to enter into your brain. You've got to be thinking about, how am I going to make this happen? What do I need to do next that the other person's too afraid to try, that I'm going to go execute at a massive level and be successful? Or even if it sucks, at least I'm going to learn something and I'm going to pivot and I'm going to go do something else, right? So if you take away the ability to let your brain help you survive in the one avenue you're giving it by having other things, and I'm not talking about other levels of streams of income, like investment properties, passive income, stuff like that, but how you pay your bills, you're gonna have a really hard time being innovative about it.
So Benjamin, what are you willing to do in order to make six figures?
I'm willing to I'm willing to do everything it needs to take.
That's right. Whatever it
That's
takes.
the answer.
That's the answer. That's always the answer. So whatever it takes is what you do.
Right. Right. So do you feel that you can service clients the way that you need to on a part-time job? I mean, for me, I have bought and sold houses in the past, and I want a full-time agent. And I think that's the way to go. And that's what I would want.
I think that I think maybe you misunderstood what I was saying. Real estate is not part-time. It's not 8 to 5.
Right.
So you do have hours in there, I guess, that you could play with in doing a different job, but it is not, you don't do real estate part-time. Right. I mean, you heard him say earlier, he's getting emails from us at 11 o'clock at night. They also get shot off at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It goes on and on and on. And so you can't do real estate for 20 hours a week and be successful at it.
Right. I get that. Totally.
Sure. Yeah. But if you only want to sell, if you just want to supplement your income, then maybe you'd be able to. But if you're switching careers and you want an unlimited income potential and you're going for that and you're building wealth through real estate, that is not an option. There are not enough hours in the day sometimes.
Yes.
I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day, right?
Nice. Okay.
It's not all that great sometimes, but it's just what's necessary.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I asked that question. Is not that I want to necessarily be part-time, but how that works, and if possible, and how long it will take to, I don't want to have one foot on the dock and one in the boat, So
yeah, well, right, yeah, that's a great question. We get it every time too, because it's and you don't know, you don't get to talk to people about what it's really like once you get into the game. Man, I'm not kidding. It's a blood sport. You're going to get told no, you're going to get cussed at, you're going to like all these things. People are going to hurt your feelings. They're going to try to hurt your feelings, right? And you got to be tough enough to stand up to that. And you got to respect yourself enough to like be able to go out there and it's like, it's okay. I'm going to let that roll off because I'm going to find somebody who really wants my help. Those things I just described don't happen on a daily basis, but it happens like once is enough, right? If you've ever been bullied before, like once is enough. And so, and it's going to happen. Just know it. It's going to happen. You're going to meet some guy or some person. They're just not in a good mood and they're going to tell you what they're thinking. And he's not the president of the United States, right? I mean, it's just some person that's going to tell you what he's thinking. That was a joke. Don't assassinate me for that. There's the, I mean, you just, I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah.
I have a question.
Thanks.
All right, yes.
I wanted to ask you and your team, of course, what was one of the hardest things that you had to overcome as new agents?
I don't remember. Do you guys know?
I think it's all mental. Like it's the mental challenges that that you have in where you're, for me, like where your barriers are, things that you've told yourself that like this is all I can achieve or this is what my expectation is for myself, and realizing and working through that those things are, they're not real, they're imaginary.
Kind of get out of your own head kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just started last week. And Leslie knows I actually had this conversation with her yesterday about how, you know, especially when you first start and probably always, it's very up and down. And she was just, you know, coaching me and helping me not to get into my own head, and that's okay and that's normal. Which is another reason why it's so great to join a team, because I was able to call her at like 6 o'clock at night just because my head was just all over the place.
Yeah, I haven't even started and my head is all over
Yeah,
the place.
I feel you.
And besides everything that we just looked at right now, what are other things that you recommend that we like research, study, look into, read, and stuff like that? Any other material that you guys recommend for us new agents?
Whatever it is, make sure that it's positive, it's enriching your life, right? Don't focus on anything else. Don't listen to anything else. And then I would just go do stuff. I mean, I don't mean like go to Circle K. I mean, like go like do an open house. Go take like 3 minutes to call somebody and ask them for business. Just try it. Just do stuff. Go look at houses and then call somebody and say, hey, I just looked at this house. It was cool. Who do you know that might want to flip a house? Or who do you know wants to build a house on 45 degrees of topography? Just something like go have a conversation about real estate. See where it goes. Like go experience that. Do stuff.
Also, when you go to Circle K, talk to the guy that you pay about what's going on in the market. Like start making yourself have those conversations.
Yeah. You can't be a secret agent and be successful either. So you got to learn how to promote yourself. But just find somebody that you like Les Brown or Tony Robbins. I mean, there's like a Gary V. I mean, there's a bunch of people you can listen to that talk about like this, because it's the same. This is the same issue that every entrepreneur in every industry has, right? It's just like my brain, the voices, all the thing, the doubt. We've all got it. It's how to defeat it, how to treat yourself. Because then the rest of it's easy. You start to build up that confidence. You start calling your people and you're like, holy shit, Clay, this is working. Like we're making money. I'm doing deals like this is, and it's fun. There's like, we're talking a little bit of the scary stuff. I'm also tell you this, it's fun. It's rewarding. When you get a deal done, it's like a moment of jubilation that you have not experienced in a long time. Right? You're raising the roof. I mean, there is the celebrating, that'd probably be another thing. You guys just pass your test, go freaking celebrate, man. That thing's hard. Right? Go like congratulate yourself, train yourself to like be okay with some of the like the benchmarks and the milestones that you're going to go through in this career. You got it. That's probably another bit. Like I probably haven't enjoyed it enough. We've done a lot. and we're going to do a whole lot more. And if I don't stop and like sit down and enjoy it and like sit in the office and witness these amazing ladies like accomplish what they're accomplishing, like then it's hard for me to understand like what's going on. Man, I love these rabbit holes.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What would y'all say is the best way to generate leads for listings, like as a new agent, other than building your database and calling people you know for referrals? Like, would you say Google ads or Facebook ads or just door knocking is like the best way?
What are we doing next Wednesday, team? What did y'all do last weekend, team?
We are going door to door.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what the answer to that is right now. Because they're like, nobody wants to sell.
Yeah.
It'll change. There you can get really specific. You can do about like who you want to target. So we have buyers that want to live in specific neighborhoods. We're knocking on doors. We're leaving them an item of value. It says, call us. We got someone who wants to buy your house. I mean, that was the big innovation. It's like, hey, we got to roll, man. We got to get boots on the ground, grassroots. We got to roll. We got way more buyers than we do sellers, way more. And they all want to live here and we love all of them. We got to help them because we said we would.
Nice. And do y'all wear your masks or like, and do you like, or how do you do it?
Yeah. You totally got to be respectful.
Yeah.
They're quick conversations.
I appreciate it.
Except for like the 1 or 2 long ones you're going to have, which is why you're there. Yeah. And, dress nice, comfortably. It's a lot of walking.
All right.
Or you do open houses if you can find it, or like, you just like get innovative. If you're going to go spend a bunch of money, I would tell you, you're going to get on Google ads. I'm going to outspend you. Probably. I don't know your background, but I'll probably outspend you for that lead. Right. So like and then I got a team that knows how to lead follow up and hustle. Right. So they're going to out hustle you on the lead follow up. So it's super competitive and it's expensive. Don't spend all your money until you start to get confident and you start talking to your people. That's the whole point of what we were talking about. It's like your people want you to succeed. They will give you business for free. By the way, if somebody says like, I want to cut, not a fan. But you reward people like when they give you like, hey, I got a referral, call this buddy, give them a thing of, if they like liquor, or we donate to the Central Texas Food Bank on their behalf. Right. So you like, you reward people along the way. So we were just talking about.
Okay.
So but if you got time and you've run out of people to call in your database, go knock on doors, go find open houses. What's great about open houses, that's where the people are at, right? That's where the buyers are. Sellers are interviewing also. So keep that in mind. Those are like probably the 3 best things. Then you start getting into phone calls and internet leads and all kinds of stuff.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's a great question, by the way. All these are great questions. Y'all have been terrific.
Yeah.
I've never seen Kayla quiet in one of these before.
Hello. I'm still here. So do you have a question for me? Any fun questions?
She's worn all the hats. So if you want a different perspective, she'll give it to you. She's done all the jobs.
Also, Angus, to find sellers. Now, of course, first starting out, you want to do the activities that are free, where you don't have to spend money. But eventually, there's a thing called a mojo.
Oh my gosh.
You can find sellers on there. You can find buyers on there. You can make connections on there. And I love that tool. But
I appreciate it. I've heard of Mojo. I just haven't looked into it that much.
Kayla is the mojo maniac, man.
Yeah.
I miss it.
What does Mojo do?
It pulls the leads, like pulls numbers of property owners or any kind of filters you want, scrubs it against the do not call list. It's a dialer. So it dials for you. You got to sit there and do it and wait.
Well, that's cool.
You could just call neighborhoods. You could call non-owner occupied properties. You can like make it about like different areas of Austin and just call them up and see if they've had any interest in buying or selling their home.
Cool. I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah. And it also builds your resilience because you will get told no over and over and over and over. But there is a golden nugget of a person in there who wants to sell their home or knows someone who does. So it's fun.
Cool. Appreciate the advice.
Sure. Anybody else have a question for me? I'm not normally this quiet, but.
You guys have been great. Anything else? I know I can hear my kids starting to cry, so I better go in soon.
Thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's really an honor to see you guys. And I know you're going on this amazing journey. I would just go for it and surround yourself with the best people you can find.